The Hotel Transylvania franchise is coming to an end, with the upcoming Hotel Transylvania 4 Transformania putting the final nail in the coffin for the popular family franchise. I thought we'd take a look at some of the most interesting behind-the-scenes facts and hidden details about the spooky monster franchise. Like, did you know Miley Cyrus was the original Mavis? Wild! What other ghoulish facts have we uncovered? Let's find out right now. Hotel Transylvania 4 will bring back all the characters we've come to know and love from the franchise, only they're not all going to sound the same. In a truly bizarre story, Adam Sandler, who stars and voices Dracula in the franchise, is not returning for the final film. Instead, voice actor Brian Hull will be taking over lead character duties. But what really happened here? We'll probably never know for sure, but we can speculate. The directors have said that by turning Drac human for the fourth movie, it gives them a perfect opportunity to have someone new voice the character. But that seems like a flimsy justification on why their biggest star isn't back. Was it a money issue? I mean, Sandler isn't that cheap to get, and do big-name stars really matter for an animated movie? Maybe. Was it scheduling problems? Was it creative differences? That's usually the go-to reason in Hollywood and is a nicer way of saying we all hated each other. But because no official explanation has been given, it's probably an issue that will remain a mystery for quite some time. Will you miss Sandler's voice in the fourth film, or won't you notice? If you go back and watch the trailers for Transformania, you'll notice that at the end, they loudly proclaimed that the film would only be in theaters when it came out. Well, actually, that isn't true anymore. Due to the pandemic, a lot of different movies have had to renegotiate massive deals to release on streaming platforms, and now it's affected Hotel Transylvania 4. In a truly huge move, Sony Pictures Animation has closed a deal for over $100 million that will see Transformania stream on Amazon Prime and skip theaters entirely. This is a huge deal, but it's one that shouldn't be all that surprising given Sony's history this year. Sony is the only major studio without a big streaming service to bring movies to, for now, and has spent the whole year dropping their titles on different streamers like An American Pickle on HBO Max and Greyhound on Apple TV+. Now it's done the similar thing with the final Hotel Transylvania film. Is this a movie that deserved a big screen experience? Tough to say. When you finally see Hotel Transylvania 4, you might notice the style is slightly different than previous installments. This is because the franchise has some new blood, which would certainly please Drac. Anyways, the director of the first 3 installments, Genndy Tartakovsky, didn't return for the final installment, and it required a new set of directors to take the reins. Directing Transformania is Derek Drymon and Jennifer Kluska. Both of them have a ton of experience in the animation world, but maybe not as much experience sitting in the directing chair as you would expect. Drymon spent years as a developer and writer on SpongeBob SquarePants, and a quick look at his IMDb page sees it's populated with a ton of SpongeBob content. He was also a writer on CatDog and Rocko's Modern Life, so hopefully that bodes well for the new film. Kluska has experience as a storyboard artist for things like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, B-Movie, and American Dragon Jake Long. So here's hoping all their creative juices from their eclectic past combine and make an awesome final movie. Did you know the Hotel Transylvania franchise is bigger than you imagined? Because there's not just 4 movies, but also 3 short films. The first is called Goodnight Mr. Foot, and it's a hand-drawn animated short focusing on Bigfoot. If you're a big Regal Cinemas fan, then you probably saw this short as it aired before the first Hotel Transylvania movie in their theaters. It basically centers on Bigfoot being constantly disturbed by a witch maid. Classic. The second short was just called Puppy, and it follows Dennis convincing Dracula to give him a monster-sized puppy named Tinkles. This one aired in front of the Emoji Movie, so chances are you never saw it. The final short film is called Monster Pets, and it's basically a sequel to Puppy, as Dracula tries to find a puppy companion for Tinkles. The first 2 shorts were directed by franchise director Tartakovsky, while the third short was directed by the fourth film's directors, Kluska and Drymon. You may not know Mark Mothersbaugh's name, but you certainly know his music. He's the composer for all 4 Hotel Transylvania movies, and he's also responsible for a ton of other projects you probably love. Like, did you know he's not only the creator of the iconic Rugrats theme, but he's also the lead singer for the band Devo, who had the hit song Whip It? Yeah, same guy. But on top of that, he's also incredibly busy. He composed the scores for Thor Ragnarok and its upcoming sequel, the What We Do in the Shadows TV show, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Disenchantment. And that's all within the last few years. He's a wonderful composer who likes to jump between movies, TV shows, and video games. Like, would you have guessed that the same guy did the music for the video game Little Big Planet 3, the CW show The Carrie Diaries, and 21 Jump Street? What a diverse history this guy has. Here's a fun story. Did you know the original movie went through 6 different directors before finally getting made? It's true. In 2006, duo Anthony Stachy and David Feiss were attached as directors. Then they were replaced by Joe Colton in 2008. After her, Chris Jenkins was hired, and then Todd Wilderman in 2010. That's a lot of upheaval for an animated movie about monsters, don't you think? Well, in February of 2011, Genndy Tartakovsky was brought on board, and although he was the creator of Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack, he had never directed a feature before. Well, you know what they say, 6 times is the charm, and the movie ended up a solid success that has spawned all these sequels. By now, you probably know the main voices of this franchise, Adam Sandler, Andy Samberg, and Selena Gomez, but one of these wasn't part of the original cast. Miley Cyrus was actually the young singer who was originally cast as Mavis. Now, imagine a world where Miley Cyrus was Mavis. Would she still have released Wrecking Ball? I don't know if I can handle living in a world where Wrecking Ball doesn't exist, could you? Anyways, what happened? Why was she replaced with Selena Gomez? Well, the way Miley tells it, she was actually fired by the studio thanks to a certain picture that was released. For her boyfriend Liam Hemsworth's birthday, she got a cake shaped like a certain body part and took a picture with it, and unfortunately the rest is history. The family-friendly Sony company didn't want to deal with the drama or controversy, so as Miley says, they replaced her. How many stars of movies can you say have songs on the soundtrack? I mean, sure, there are a few of them, but I don't think any of them quite compare to the musical stylings of Adam Sandler. For the first film in particular, there are a good amount of Adam Sandler originals on the soundtrack. This includes Daddy's Girl, as well as the absolute banger of a song called The Zing. I'm pretty sure The Zing was the top love song of that year. Oh, what's that? That's absolutely incorrect? Oh man, okay, I would have bet money on that. If you've ever found yourself wandering around the Romanian region of Wallachia, then you might have said to yourself, hey, this kind of looks like the Hotel Transylvania world. And you would have been right. The setting of Wallachia served as a big influence for the village in the first film, mainly because it has important vampire roots. It's where historically the OG Vlad the Impaler was from, and he served as a foundation for the character of Dracula. So go take a vacation there if you want, but probably don't if you're afraid of vampires, which I'm not saying exist, but maybe better safe than sorry, right? Genndy Tartakovsky, as mentioned before, was the director for the first 3 films and decided to not come back for the 4th one. And as much as I'm excited to see what the new directors would bring to the table, I'm sad to see Tartakovsky go. He's such a visually interesting creator, and he's responsible for one of the greatest cartoons of all time, Samurai Jack. But we shouldn't be that surprised that he's not returning. It was a struggle to get him to come back for the 3rd one. Originally, he had planned to step away after directing the first 2 installments, but then, after a horrible family vacation, he was inspired to come back and direct the 3rd installment, which of course centers on a big family vacation. Hey, sometimes inspiration strikes in the strangest places, right? Now that this franchise is done, how about a new one starts that basically turns the Universal monsters into the Avengers, and let's plan like 8 of them all at once, and we can get Tom Cruise to— oh wait, no, sorry. We already tried that, and we all know how the Dark Universe went. Never mind.